Hello Greenstylers, this is Cynthia, and today I'm very excited to sew the corset dress with you. Today we'll be making this cami version with full bust adjustment pieces. If you're making the straps version, you can still sew along with us up until the point when the instructions diverge. That's when you can switch over to the Courtside Dress instructions, and I'll include a link in the video for you to switch over at that time. Now let's go over our supplies and the pieces that you'll need to cut. Before cutting, make sure you know if you need a full bust adjustment and how much using the tutorial, and be sure to cut the pieces that match the FBA you need. You can choose the D1 that's meant to be cut on the fold, or you can choose the D1 that's meant to be cut as two mirror images, which is what I chose. Along the solid higher neck cut line or the lower dotted neck cut line, and be sure to transfer notches. Next we move on to D2, the front middle pieces. 2 as mirror images, once again transferring all notches along the skirt and bodice and being consistent with your neckline, cut line, and also your dress length cut line at the bottom. Next up are pieces D3, the front side. Once again, cut 2 as mirror images and transfer all notches from the pattern pieces to your fabric. To help keep all of these pieces straight, we recommend writing or marking on the fabric somehow the piece number or name to help distinguish more easily. In addition, I've drawn chalk lines to help quickly identify the back of the fabric versus the front. Now let's cut the back of the dress, starting with pieces D4. I have cut pieces D4 meant to be cut in 2 and seamed down the center, but you could choose the piece that is meant to be cut on the fold so that you'll have one piece. Once again, cut all notches or mark all notches onto the fabric and mark the piece name on the wrong side of your fabric. Next up, pieces D5, the back middle. Cut 2 as mirror images, transferring notches onto the fabric. And finally, piece D6, the back side, cut 2 as mirror images, once again transferring all notches onto the fabric. Make sure you cut all these pieces at the same length as you did for the front pieces. Cut piece B1, the shelf bra front. If you're using any of the FBA versions, you will have darts to trace onto your fabric. You'll also need piece B2, the shelf bra back. Make sure you follow the cut lines that you cut for the dress so that your shelf bra matches the dress. For the cami version we're making today, cut 2 straps with a notch at the end of each one, the center back binding with a notch on each end, and the neckline binding. Also need some 1/4 inch elastic. Do not cut it yet. You'll need some 1 inch elastic for the shelf bra and can cut according to this chart in the tutorial, but we always recommend trying it on for comfort and adjusting for your preference. If you are using the on-the-fold center front D1 piece, then proceed to the next step. But if you are using the seamed center front pieces, you will need to stitch them together. Make note of the notches on these 2 pieces, as we will align the long center edge with no notches. Align with right sides together, pin and clip in order to stitch with a stretch stitcher serger and a 3/8 inch seam allowance. And it's important to note that you must sew with a full 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, or your dress could end up as much as 1.75 inches wider than intended. Bring over pieces D2, the front middle pieces, and line up the single notch. Align the edges with right sides touching and pin or clip into place. Stitch using a stretch stitch or serger and a 3/8 inch seam allowance. Bring over pieces D3, the front side pieces. You will align the 2 single notches on D3 with the 2 single notches on D2. Place them with right sides together, aligning the long edge, and pin or clip into place. Stitch using a stretch stitch or serger and a 3/8 inch seam allowance. Now here's how your fully constructed front looks from the outside. From the inside, you'll see all these lovely seams. Check your heat settings on your iron and press those seams so that they lay nice and flat. If you're using the on the fold center back D4, proceed to the next step. Otherwise, place the seamed center back pieces with right sides together, pin or clip along the side with no notches. Stitch using a stretch stitch or serger and a 3/8 inch seam allowance. Bring over your pieces D5, the middle back. Match the double notch on D5 with the double notch on D4. Lay the pieces with right sides together, align along the long edge, pin or clip in place. Stitch using a stretch stitch or serger and a 3/8 inch seam allowance. Now bring over pieces D6. Make sure you align the 2 double notches of pieces D6 with the 2 double notches of pieces D5. Lay with right sides together and pin or clip along the long straight edge, making sure to align those double notches. Stitch using a stretch stitch or serger and a 3/8 inch seam allowance. Once again, check your heat settings on your iron and press your seams to set them. For the shoulder strap version, return now to page 17 of the PDF tutorial. And if you'd like additional video assistance for the burrito roll method, you can use the Courtside Dress video starting at 14 minutes and 5 seconds. Continue here for the cami option. We'll get to the shelf bra in a second, but for now we'll take the front and back, align with right sides together along the side seams, matching the single notch at the waistline, pin or clip into place. Stitch using a stretch stitch or serger and a 3/8 inch seam allowance. If you are making the FBA option, make sure you've traced all 4 darts onto your shelf bra front. And here's a tip that we discovered during testing and after the making of this video. We recommend folding the dart with wrong sides touching so that the bulk of the dart ends up on the right side of the fabric. The bulk of the dart will end up facing toward the body, and this will help so that the dart does not show through your dress. Fold the darts down the center and pin into place. Stitch along the lines starting at the outer edge and stitching in toward the point of the dart. Use a straight stitch with a slightly shorter stitch length. Stitch off the end of the dart without back stitching and leave your thread tails long. Tie a few knots using the thread tails to secure your stitch. And repeat these steps with the remaining 3 darts. And once again, we do recommend that the bulk of those darts stick out toward the right side of the fabric, opposite of what you see here. Now check your iron settings again and press your darts up and away from the center. Place the shelf bra back, piece B2, onto the shelf bra front, piece B1, with right sides together, and pin or clip into place along the side seams. Stitch using a stretch stitch or serger and a 3/8 inch seam allowance. Overlap the short ends of your underbust elastic by 1/2 inch and stitch with an X to secure. Optionally, you can choose to use a wide zigzag stitch for this step as well. Divide your elastic loop and bottom of your shelf bra into quarters. Slip the elastic onto the bottom edge of the shelf bra, lining up the center back with the elastic overlap. Stitch into place with a zigzag stitch or serger. If using a serger, do not cut any of the elastic or fabric off. Stretch the elastic to fit as you sew. Then fold the elastic once toward the wrong side and stitch again using a zigzag or cover stitch, stretching the elastic so that the fabric is flat as you sew. With wrong sides touching, slip the shelf bra into the dress, lining up the fronts and backs. Pin or clip into place along the top edge. Baste along the upper edges of the dress to secure the shelf bra to the bodice. We'll start with the neck binding piece, the piece without notches. Mark the center of the piece and line it up with the center front of your neckline. Pin or clip in place with right sides together. I recommend pinning or clipping the binding piece slightly past the end of the dress so that a little bit of the binding is hanging off the edge. This will make it easier to catch those binding edges when you attach the straps in the next step. My favorite stitch for this application is the lightning bolt stitch, followed by the triple straight stitch. I experimented on this dress with a zigzag stitch and decided that these stitches were too far apart and I could see some of them through the front of my dress. You can also use a serger, and that will result in cutting off some of the seam allowance, and I prefer to have a larger seam allowance for when I fold over that binding. Now we will wrap the binding around the seam allowance and toward the back. This is going to be one single fold down, and you will end up with a raw edge on the inside of your dress. The reason we do it that way is to reduce bulk, and also because this fabric will not fray. It will still look nice on the inside even with that raw edge. Check to make sure that the raw edge of your binding fully covers the original binding stitch line. Top stitch close to the seam using a stretch stitch or cover stitch. Trim off any excess fabric on the wrong side if needed. With right sides together, stitch the back binding and the straps at the notches to make one long strip. We now have one long back binding and straps piece. With right sides together, pin the middle of the back binding to the middle of the back of the dress. Pin or clip the rest of the way around the dress, stretching slightly as you go. The seams of the binding should match up with the side seams of the dress. Stop when you get to the front upper edge. Stitch using a stretch stitch or serger just as you did for the front neck binding. Stitching from the center back up towards the front edge. At that point we will add elastic to the straps. You'll also want to make sure that the stitch fully captures the end of the neck binding in the seam allowance. About 1 to 1/2 inches before you come off the front of the dress, bring out your elastic, slip it under the foot of your sewing machine and begin adding that elastic to your stitch. I suggest switching to a zigzag stitch once you start adding the elastic for some more control. I did find it a little bit difficult to control that elastic with the skinny lightning bolt stitch. In addition, keep your elastic flush to the edge of that strap. Once you have stitched up both sides, fold the binding up and over the seam allowance just as you did before with the neck binding. Once you get to the free part of the binding, which is now called the straps, you will fold it twice in order to fully encase that elastic and cover the original stitches. Top stitch close to the seam using a stretch stitch or cover stitch. Trim off any excess fabric on the wrong side if needed. Once your straps are fully stitched, try on the dress and mark your desired locations for the straps. Once satisfied with your location, pin them in place and stitch using a straight stitch with a forward and reverse to secure. Trim off any excess straps from the inside. Hem the bottom of the dress if desired by turning up 1/2 inch and stitching with a straight stitch. Optionally, you can use an iron-on hem tape to secure the hem, leave the hem raw, which is what I did, or finish with a scallop stitch. And with that, you are all done. Congratulations on completing your very own Greenstyle corset dress. Please share your makes across social media using hashtag #GSCorsetDress. We can't wait to see it. Until next time, happy sewing from me and all of us at Greenstyle.